Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So as you can see, this is my face reveal, if you will. This is what I look like. I have shown my face on my gardening channel before, but maybe many of you haven't seen that. So this is what I look like. I decided to just show my face because why not? I kept the first few years incognito because of just I don't know. I wanted to see if this channel would even become a thing, so I wouldn't really want to show my face. But now that it has maintained itself, I wanted to show myself, and hopefully this is something what you pictured me like. The hair, usually, this is actually the longest hair I've ever had, but I think it looks better than with short hair, so I'm recording in my basement. It may look a bit weird, all the brown, but I've been recording these videos throughout the past years all over the house, not just the basement. But we'll be talking in today's video about the storm threat. There are several snowstorms potentially across the United States that will be forming, and these could bring rain or snow depending on which model you look at and depending on which location you are. So we'll get into all of those details, and if you are new to this channel, hello, welcome. You're viewing my first face reveal, so coincidence. But check out the videos, see if this channel is something you would like, and if you're a returning viewer, liking the video would be awesome. So if you guys could do that, that would be awesome. Let me just turn this webcam off and let's get into the actual video. Okay, so let's get into this. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a shock or a deviance from what I want to talk about. Alright, so the European model, let's start off by looking at that. ECMWF high resolution. This thing is a very good model, usually pretty highly regarded by most weather enthusiasts, hobbyists, meteorologists, and let's see what it does. So as of right now, we don't have much going on. Actually, the United States is very, very dry. We don't have any precipitation, excluding the Northwest. The Northwest does have a bit of activity going on, right? But as we push this forward, notice it dwindles. I mean, there could be a time frame at around that early Friday, early tomorrow in the afternoon where almost not a single portion of the United States is seeing precipitation. And I do think, that really happens. There will be a few locations like the UP, the Northwest, at any given time, right? But very, very few locations seeing precip. Then we start seeing rain develop across the Ozarks, the Ohio Valley, into southern Illinois, Kentucky, Arkansas, Oklahoma. And as we push this forward, you can see this rain very gradually starts forming. Light rain at first, so this isn't really a flooding threat. It is going to be present, kind of set itself over across one area of the United States, which is obviously this location. So a bit of rain will fall there. But then notice it starts increasing in intensity and in coverage. It becomes more widespread. The rain starts showing some of those yellow signs. Those yellow colorations indicates some relatively moderate rainfall rates. And these aren't amounts, these are rates per, I think per hour. Yeah, per hour. Okay. And so definitely starting to increase. This is at around Sunday, 2 o'clock in the morning. So the wee morning hours of Sunday. This is what Saturday, 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening looks like. You can see kind of around that same location. Not much winter precip, maybe a bit across Nebraska and in Minnesota. And the European model, again, is just one of many models, and they're showing these different scenarios. So this is what the European shows early Sunday morning. You can see the precip isn't far to the north. We have it really stopping at the Illinois, the Chicago line, almost going right through Chicago into southern Michigan. Some ice. This is actually indicated as some mix, so most likely sleet. Freezing rain is that pink. So a bit of sleet falling, a bit of snow across the Twin Cities. Again, though, the lack of cold air and the lack of moisture in the colder areas doesn't produce a snowstorm, according to this model. It does transition a bit of snow into Michigan, even Toronto maybe seeing a bit of snow, the larger cities, Montreal, Ottawa, Quebec seeing some inches of snow. And this moves up, you could see northeast seeing good amounts of rain out of this and into southeastern Canada. Then we quickly transition into that second storm. This one has completely, we're not confident about this one at all. The European now transitioned it into more of a rain event rather than a snow event, but again, a lot of uncertainty, models disagreeing all over the place. Then potentially a third one. So again, a lot of uncertainty, and we'll just have to keep this monitored. Let's take a look at the total snowfall from the European model. I just want to quickly show you this. Total accumulated snowfall. You can see it increases a lot of snow across southeastern Canada with that first storm. Not that much across the U.S., the U.S. viewing area, other than the Northwest, where there will be copious amounts of snow in the higher elevations, and southwestern Canada as well. And then in the longer range, you can see not much more increase of snow at all. But again, this is just one model, and I want to emphasize that because we're at this point where a slight difference, a slight deviance, a slight change in track could mean a world of difference, quite literally. So let's take a look at the GFS on this same website, the Pivotal Weather. And let's just run it with the latest model run, the 18Z. This one came out in the afternoon, and let's take this to 240. You can see that, again, not much snow across the plains, very, very snowless, actually, for this time of the year. You know, they sometimes see absolute monster storms at this time of the year. But again, so not much snow for the northern plains, but you can see more across Wisconsin, into Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, even a bit of snow right there. Let's take a look at the surface precip map and show you what it's showing. And if we were to take this hour by hour, this is now late today or early Friday morning. Again, not much stuff going on really at all. Very warm air, very humid. Not humid, sorry. Very warm, very unusual for this time of the year. Maybe a bit humid by the Gulf states, but not really into the Midwest. Notice we start seeing that precip developing across the Ozarks, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Oklahoma, and as we push this forward, the GFS sends the precipitation further to the north much quicker. You can see that by Sunday, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So notice that the rain-snow line is a bit further to the south with this model, as the precipitation is a bit further to the north. So the cold air is also a bit stronger with the GFS. So you can see cities like Toronto could be completely differently, in a whole different world, a snowy world, if the GFS comes true versus the European model. And notice that this storm evolves into a rain and snow situation across southeastern Canada, into Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and quite a bit of rain across the northeast. And then we have that next system, which you can see the GFS disagrees with the European, and then a whole nother, bunch of storms and systems we'll have to watch for. Let's take a look at some of the higher resolution models now, and for that I want you to look at the NAM 3KM, for example. And you can see right there as I have it pulled up, this is Sunday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, right? And we have potential snow across the Illinois area and Indiana, even southern central Illinois, or central northern Illinois versus all rain. And the NAM models do have a cold bias, so they usually show more cold air than there is. So that would make a huge difference when it comes to a forecast like this. But again, it's difficult to predict at this point. Notice, this is a NAM 3KM showing actually decent rates of snow across Illinois, and this only goes out to 60 hours. So this is all we have, but you can see some decent snow developing across these locations. We will have to see whether or not this holds true. We could be looking at a snowy scenario. If you were to take a look at, say, the NAM 12KM, a model that's in the same family, goes further out, notice it does show a bit of snow across Chicago, into Indiana, Michigan, Ohio. This would be a much snowier scenario. Cities like Detroit would see snow, and into portions of southeastern Canada. You can see this would be a rather significant snowstorm across the Midwest. Now, again, I see significant. This wouldn't be a blizzard, but there would be 3, 4, 5-inch amounts, and this could be a big difference. And you can see each model is showing a slightly different scenario. And if we were to take a look, sorry if you hear noises upstairs, there's my siblings are being extraordinarily loud for no reason today. Let's take a look at the MSLP and precip rain/frozen, and let's take this time by time. So this is, again, not in the family of NAM models, but it is considered a high resolution model, right? And if we were to take a look through this, you could see up until Friday, Saturday, nothing happening. I mean, it only starts developing maybe Sunday morning, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning across Kansas, Missouri, and then as this pushes forward, we could see that the RGEM, which again isn't in the family of NAM, so it doesn't have that cold bias, it still shows more snow than the global models, so like the GFS or the European, and you can see that obviously isn't as significant as what the NAM is showing, but it's been trending towards that. And notice that this would produce quite a bit of snow into Toronto and southeastern Canada. So there's still a lot of, a lot of mystery with this system. And again, while there will be a snowy side wherever that sets up, a lot of these locations will still be in for rain, which could put a hinder on your Saturday or Sunday plans, obviously. And if we were to take a glance at the RGEM, but say the 6Z model run, so the one that was in the morning, you could see that while there was a snowy side, it was different. It was further to the south, and it wasn't as impressive. Now, we'll really start seeing these details come together in the next day or two. Really, in the next day. By tomorrow, Friday, we should have a slightly better idea of what's to come. Again, the confidence is pretty low, as this will be a very marginal type of air mass. We could be seeing snow out of this. We may not. We'll have to see. And unfortunately, that's all I have to provide at this point. These models only go out to 48, so it doesn't capture it, and same with the HRDPS. Let's look at the Canadian model. Again, this is the Canadian model, so it's a global model. Similar to what the European and GFS show. Not much of a snowy scenario up until it reaches southeastern Canada, where it does develop into a snowstorm, a full-fledged snowstorm. The winds don't seem to be strong with this, as this is not a well-developed cyclone. This is more of like a band of a short wave, if you will. And notice that here we do have another storm developing, right? But that's kind of out in the future. So a lot of activity. Total snowfall from the Canadian, you can see, shows decent amounts where it does fall. And if we were to take a look at the, I wanted to show you the other models. I don't know if I did. The GFS also generally, pretty high, but a bit further to the north than the Canadian. And this model run is just coming in, but we already have that info, I think, to the fullest update. Yeah, and you can still see more potential will be on its way. So don't worry if you're missing out. The GFS parallel, while this model is a bit old, usually it gets outdated pretty quickly, as it only runs once a day. This is what it shows from that first system. And you can see it does show snow across Detroit, that area. It's limited. It does expand it into a pretty large, significant system across the southeastern, northeastern United States. Southeastern Canada, northeastern United States, obviously. But again, how this sets up exactly is going to be tough, and we'll have to see. Again, the National Weather Service is closely monitoring this. They're reluctant to show the snow at this point, and that makes sense, as really it doesn't, it's just a trend we've been seeing for the past few hours, and whether or not that holds is a complete mystery. So we'll see. Hopefully it does for the snow lovers, and even if it doesn't, there seems to be a rain threat, so that's definitely something we'll have to watch for. But yeah, definitely a snow potential is there, and even after that system, there are more snows on the way. So definitely we'll just have to keep a eye for this, a eye on this, obviously. And if I were to show you some other models, this is the RAP. This is again a high resolution model, but I mean, you can see it goes out to only 18 hours. So these models will only be useful once we're really close. This thing, I mean, yeah, only shows us early Friday morning, so tomorrow. Let's take a look at the RDPS. This one goes out a bit further, and if I were to show you this, you can see it starts developing that rain across the Ozarks, and it moves it up north, and you can see it does show a bit more snow across Indiana, southern portions of Chicago maybe, and into southeastern Canada. Not a huge event, but again, if this continues to be a bit more of a cold scenario rather than a warm scenario, we could be looking at a more significant snow threat. Now, I wanted to show you the model run prior to, same model, right, but just a bit of older information to show you that the trend has been kind of showing that snowy scenario. You can see that Precip was further to the south earlier, and obviously the further north it goes, the higher chance it has with that cold air, since that's where the cold air is positioned. And if we were to take another look at the 6Z, so even further out today in the very early morning hours this came out, you could see it was, again, kind of similar, holding on to that snow, but further to the south. And with that latest one, just want to show you the difference now. It has it much further to the north, and that would obviously provide a more snowier scenario. So we'll have to see, we'll have to monitor this. And again, there is still potential with this. So thank you so much for watching. Consider liking the video, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.